What's up, everybody? It is Friday here. I spent the morning getting some stuff cut out of the plasma cutter. I'm gonna show you. That is what we have cut out. It's kind of hard to see, but let me show you. Got my 18 gauge template here. That is what that will be. Coilover and secondary shock mounts. But before I can get those tacked onto the frame and all that fun stuff, I need to get this thing on my trailer so Trey can come pick it up. This thing is done. What we have done is fixed his reduction box with all the breathers and stuff. Mounted a pump. See if I can get a picture of it. Mounted a pump and a cooler for his reduction box so it doesn't get too hot. And we've also made him a kick-ass center console and remounted all this stuff. If you guys go back to the videos I did before, he didn't have his center console stuff in here. So what we did was we cut it in on the front and the rear piece. His transfer case shifter there works, and then had a big opening here where the e-brake used to be. So we covered all that up and made him a nice box with a cup holder, and moved his panel. His panel used to sit on the side right here. That's why it has this big hole. So now they're easier to read, easier to locate. There you go. Still have seatbelt access. So another project done, but we'll go out in the cold, get the trailer ready, and put this thing up in my trailer so I can take it to the house so you can pick it up while I'm gone this weekend. What's up, everybody? It is Monday morning. Been working on the buggy for about 45 minutes now because that's all I have to do today, which is awesome. This is what I've got going so far. Got the coilover mount we cut out on Friday, tacked in place in 3 spots, bolt pushed through there. Got the weld washers welded on. And what we're doing right now is we're going through, and you can see here, I'm having to notch out the inner side here. Working on this, I've got to take a little more out, make that a little more round, just so that comes up further, just so the holes line up better and that angle gets improved. I want that edge right here needs to be center of the tube. All right, there we go. One little cutout right there, and it all fits perfectly. Bolts line up, they're square. But before I can even tack this one in place, I have to weld this tube to this tube and weld this tube to the same tube. Might as well go ahead and weld this one now, because as you can see, there's no way to get down in there. So we'll weld that, we'll notch out the back side of this plate to relief for that weld, and then when it comes time to fully weld these in, then it will definitely be locked in everywhere. See, moving this corner up just a little bit, improve that right there coming down the center of that tube. All right, passenger side notched out, set in place, everything measures good. Coilovers are a perfect 5 degrees at full stuff, 5 degrees at ride. Can't ask for any better than that. That's what we're shooting for. So it's been about an hour and a half now, after taking the axle up and down and matching the passenger side to the driver's side. That took the longest time. Let's start welding it in. I've got to take this plate off and do all the behind welds for these 2 tubes first. Then we'll tack it in place. We'll pull the coilovers off because you don't want to get heat on those. And then another job done. And then we can move on to, I think with the radiator in, or the fuel tank in, radiator in, and then that way they're bolted kind of in place. And then we'll work on finishing this whole back half and using the new tube bender today. I say finishing, we're gonna get a good jump on it today, hopefully. So here we go. I just wanna say, I love it when math checks out on the computer. So forgot I did this, and this is one of my key measurements. Pull the coilover out, clears. That's what that little hump right there is for. The same way with that shock, when it comes out, you can either rotate forward or rearward. So that way, if you watch it, I shouldn't have to take off my rear shock to get these out. So I think the next step is, first, we're gonna let this cool down for about 30 minutes. It's pretty hot right now. Let it cool down, put the fuel tank back in, as well as the radiator and the coilovers. We'll still leave it at full bump. And then we'll start designing and thinking about how we want our tire to be captured in here. So we'll roll that guy right there over on the stand, get it set in place, and we'll start taking measurements. And then also, while we're doing that, we're gonna half design what's gonna hold the fuel tank in place as well. So yeah, we get some lunch because it's lunchtime, and then this is gonna cool down again, and let's get rolling on it again. All right, it's after lunch. Got the fuel tank and the radiator set in place. That all bolted back together great, which is awesome. Let's get the tire in place and start figuring out how we want to do the tire care. As you can see, the fuel tank just dropped in after removing the removable crossbar right here. Then crossbar goes back in. This bracket system right here that hinges off those bolts goes in, it angles down, radiator slides in through one of the sides right here, either side, and then it is pulled tight and bolted up. Those will get nylon nuts when the time comes so they don't come undone. Yeah. Plans working out. All right, first tube bent, tacked in place. There we go. So as you can see, the tire will just slide in it, kind of like a mini truck over here. It'll slide in place just like that. Kind of the same setup, except it doesn't have a top bar, and the rearmost bar right here sits further out. So let me show you what we got. Get rid of bin number 2. I bent this one with 2 separate bends, recalculating. I'm gonna try bending this with 1 cut tube, perfect length. So from that point all the way around to that point, I'm gonna try cutting the tube pretty close to length with enough. I gave like an inch of air on each end, just as extra, so we have room to notch and some. So let's see if we can do this. Let me show you my math and my thinking on this. All right, kind of hard to see, but I've got a Sharpie line there. We're using the crack in the floor and a Sharpie line there. And what it is right there to clamp of the tube is 6 inches. If you count those all the way around to end of bend, it's 14 to 26 from end of bend to when start of bend is over here, like that. and then 14 more inches around. I did until end of bend, and then 10 inches on this side up to there. And the reason it's 10 on that side and 6 on the other is I'm going to have to go off clamp to end of bend. I'll show you that here in a second. All right, if you're really good at math and you added all that stuff up really fast, it comes out to 70 inches even. So I've got to mark at 70 inches. Take the cordless bandsaw, cut that thing 70 inches. All right, so if you remember, it was 6 inches from there to where the clamp goes. I got it marked on the tube here, 6 inches. Take this tube right here. Throw it in the tube bender. And where that orange dot is right there is where, come on, right about there. Let me clamp all this down. All right, let me see if I can do this all in one clip without messing it up. So mark is right there on the clamp, everything's down, I'm set to 0, put a little bit of tension on it so it's not going to move on me. That's right there. 1/2-inch wrench guy. If you're asking where I learned all this from, Trey at 12 State Off-Road helped me a ton. Just watching him and then the tips. All right, so I already know this tube bender has to go to 95 degrees for the spring back for 90. I just know it is because I've already done one before on 095 wall, 1 3/4. Here we go. So this thing works super fast. I gotta keep that guy tension. And we're good. Forgot the lube. So it's metal on metal contact right here. So a little bit of WD just helps it slide a little easier. It did come with some like paste, but I don't know if I can weld through that stuff. I know I can weld through WD, so I don't have to clean it up if I don't have to. This tube bender goes to 60 before it runs out, so that's all it does. So pin on pin, comes up. Going. 70, back up again, come all the way back. I do that a little bit just because it's really hard to grab that one last little thing right there. And then right here, obviously angle, we're gonna go to 95. All right, and back it off. Thing, and let it come all the way. For now, all right, so bolt off. Gets a little tension in it. All right, and then back to what we were before. So on the ground, we've got 26 inches from end of bend to where clamp is. So axles too. End to bend. A little more. We go to the other side so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so never measured before. It's 26 from end to bend to where the clamp needs to be. That would be in the concrete right there. End to bend's right there. There's where the clamp needs to go. Back just a little bit. Right. Put the wrench on it for now. Take our digital angle finder there. Slap it on the die. It's still at 0. Spin around. Put it on this flat section of tube. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but it's the bend that comes out. Move the camera so you guys can see what we're doing. So, zeroed it off the die here. And then on this, same angle finder. And all we're doing is moving it. So zero that. Take it down. It's at 0.2 of a degree. I'm calling that good enough for who it's for. Alright, a little tension. There we go. Make sure nothing's moved. It's still at 0.2. Ready to tighten this. And back to 95, we should be good. Here we go. Grab the camera here. We're sitting on 95, and when I bring the tension out, oop, well dang, that was the wrong button. So now we're technically 91. We'll see. I hope that didn't mess it up. Now I got the tube on the ground. My lines were 40 inches. You can kind of see it peeking out there between them, but the actual truck there is 40 1/4. So that will work. It's about 1/4 inch each side. We can bend the tube in. All we need to do now is notch it and we can put it on. All right, end of the day. All I did was notch that tube right here. You've seen me do that before. Tacked everything in place. Tires there. So, certified look. Here's my mini truck. As you can see, I'm just going for that look from here on out. I guess anything else I build. So, yeah, let me do some like B-roll of this thing, and I'm getting out of here. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hey, like and subscribe. Please share, post this up on your Facebook, friends and groups and all that. We're getting some more views on the videos. It's awesome. Thanks again, guys. Bye.